Brilliance Audio.
Snap Out of It by Maddie Dawson. Performed by Joyce Bean. Not that I'm bitter or anything, because I'm most certainly not. But 35 years later, the thing that still irks me is that my first husband left me for a woman who had him convinced she was a witch. "I've been bewitched," he said, as though this was a medical diagnosis that could not be disputed. "I have to be honest with you, I'm helpless. Helpless." He was grinning, and even his black hair looked like it was standing up in little peaks of happiness. I was afraid he was going to break out in a soft shoe. It was a freezing cold December morning, which is supposed to be a really wonderful time of the year, holiday cheer and all that. And oh, he was so smug in his guilty, proud way, giddy over the fact that his life was about to become fascinating, while I knew mine was going to get so much worse. I knew who had bewitched him. His poetry instructor at the city college. Her name was Juliette Perrot, the kind of woman who fluttered her closed eyelids when she spoke, and who wore almost cartoonishly low-cut blouses and a bunch of silver necklaces that she called talismans. She thought Shakespeare and Robert Frost would show up if you simply chanted a few words to channel them. Big deal, I remember telling him, all false bravado. I had a grandmother in backwater Florida who knew how to get rid of people's warts just by wishing them away, and who once actually transferred warts from one person to another simply by concentrating. Not exactly a world-class witch, perhaps, but still, someone you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of. "I can't let you go off with a woman who imagines she's a witch just because she's got you all hot for her," I said, though it killed me having to even say those words. "You bring her around here and I'll show her what's what." Victor threw back his head and laughed, showing white, even teeth. "She'd never come here," he said. "I can't even think of how weird that would be." "Too much reality for her, huh?" I said. "Well, some can take it and some can't." "Too much something," he said. And when he looked around the messy kitchen at the spilled everything and at our reflections in the gray window pane that showed my curly, disheveled hair, it was clear that he saw none of it for the glorious mess that it was. We were no longer us. I was 25 years old, and I had been up since 4:15 with the baby and had nursed her and sung her songs that made her laugh and had baked the cinnamon muffins that Victor had just wolfed down. And the heartbreaking thing was, I'd been so happy there in the middle of the night, so pleased and contented in our messy, unconventional life, thinking of what to get at the grocery store later, and did Victor's mother need me to get her some seltzer water again? And oh yes, I needed to take the garbage cans down to the curb because it was garbage day, and also I had to remember that my mother had wanted me to come upstairs and bring her my recipe for lemon bars, and where was that recipe card? Was it in the junk drawer? My mother lived on the 3rd floor of our house, and his mother lived beneath us on the 1st floor, and I had my hands full balancing these two mothers, one up and one down, both full of opinions and unhappiness and needs. I was the mistress of it all, juggling the moms, the baby, and, why not be honest here, all the sex my husband insisted he needed just so he could live through each day. I did like that part. I was a freaking domestic sorceress, presiding over a magical, chaotic mess. And then, just like that, he casually crushed me like a paper cup. I stood there looking at him, aware that certain circuits were already flicking off in my brain's central control panel. The trust was the first to leave, followed by all the pockets of love I held hidden inside, and then the hope trudged out, turning off the lights. It hurt a lot when the hope left. Minutes ticked by, and he was still talking and talking, not even noticing that I had gone dark. I looked toward the refrigerator, and I saw the little amber mound on the linoleum, dried now and hardened. It was a symbol of us, that hard little place. A whole year before, he'd dropped the bottle of maple syrup, and I'd asked him to clean it up, and he said I should clean it up, and I said I wouldn't. I was done with cleaning up after him, and why was I the one who always had to clean up everything? And he said, well, that was certainly tough toenails because he wasn't going to, and then nobody ever did it, and it dried into something three-dimensional and smooth, something your foot knocked against when you stood in front of the fridge.